Everybody, Eddie Dowd back again with Brian Sachs. I'm a Maryland real estate agent. He's a Maryland mortgage lender, as well as multiple other states. We're here to talk about a program that you may have heard of, the Maryland Mortgage Program. What is the Maryland Mortgage Program? Is it something that you could take advantage of? How could it benefit you? And overall, is it something that you should be looking into if you're looking to buy a home? Brian?
Well, it's a great question. So thank you. And I'm happy to be here as always with you, Mr. Dowd. Um, we're always talking about where do you get money to buy a house, right? If you don't have any money, what do you do? Well, the state of Maryland really is excellent. And the program is called the Maryland Mortgage Program. The Maryland Mortgage Program offers lots of different products and lots of different programs. But one of their programs in specifics gives you up to 5% of the purchase price that you can use towards your down payment and your closing costs. So think about that. If you buy a house for $300,000, that's $15,000. Now, I guess we have to talk a little bit, Eddie, about what is a grant and what is a loan. There are grants out there, and the MMP does also have a grant program. The difference is, before we go further, the difference between a grant and a loan is a grant actually gives you the money. And what that means is, as long as you live in the property, you meet all the criteria, obviously, and you live in the property for up to 5 years, that is forgiven. The MMP loan, though, is a little bit different. They're actually going to lend you the money. There is no interest being charged, not a penny of interest, and there is no monthly payment that you have to pay. But it is a loan against your house, so when you do sell the property, you do have to pay that off. Now, you could go to a website called mmp.maryland.gov. I'll tell you some highlights. Does that work?
That
The
works great.
MMP sets the interest rate. Again, there's a lot of different programs. There are income restrictions based on your household size. You cannot have more than 20% of the purchase price, but then if you have more than 20% of the purchase price in the bank, you don't really need the MMP program, right? They're doing it to help Marylanders purchase a home. MMP, the state sets the rate. There are qualification guidelines. You do have to have a minimum credit score of 640. And if you have a credit score of 680 or above, you actually will qualify for even more home. You do have to take a class. You can take that class online in your pajamas if you want. But you do have to take a class and get a certificate. That certificate's good for a full year. So if you're watching us and you think you might be, not have enough money to buy a house, well, this program really could be a great solution. So call Eddie or myself and we can give you all the details and see if you can obtain this program. There's one big thing, Eddie, that I have to say. We call it a first-time home buyer program, right?
Yep.
But it's not. Because even if you've owned a home before, you might still be able to take advantage of this program. Even if you've owned a home in the state of Maryland before, you still might be able to take advantage of this program. So, worth the phone call. How much you charge for your phone call?
$3.99.
Right. And mine is the roundest number around, 0. So neither of us charge you anything. We're more than happy to talk to you. We're more than happy to answer your questions, but just know that this is, literally, Eddie, I can tell you about a case we closed, you and I actually. And I don't know if you remember, it wasn't that long ago. The people got in with no money, literally 0. Okay. We used the MMP program. You, as the expert negotiator that you are, actually had the seller pay some of the closing costs. The buyer got in with nothing. And they gave a deposit of $1,000, which they got back at settlement. So,
Yeah.
folks, it doesn't get better than that. Don't push off your dream of home ownership because you don't have the cash. There's lots of ways, lots of programs, and again, you don't even have to be a first-time home buyer.
And that client was very happy, and we want to make you guys Very happy as well, to where maybe you can get that money back at settlement as well, just like our previous client did. So yeah, another thing that we're always going to mention, the home funded. So you guys can contribute there, works as like a GoFundMe page, especially, you work through us, click through the link that's down below, fill out the information. You'll be able to have your friends, family, anybody really contribute to that, and that goes towards the purchase of your home. So that's something to kind of build up those funds if you're not ready right away. But don't think that you're not ready. Make sure you reach out, have a conversation with us, and just see where you're at. And if anything else, even if you're not ready, we can set a game plan for you, and we can get you guys into that home, when it is the best time for you, and tell you what you need to do to get there. So you can reach me by calling 410-588-6536. Brian, how can they reach you?
443-471-8557, or B Sacks, SACKS, at cmghomeloans.com.
Awesome, awesome. We'll be back again next week for another tip. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Hope you benefited from it. If there's somebody that you know that would benefit from this, make sure you share it, tag them in it, shoot them in a message, a text message, whatever you got to do. Get the information out. Don't keep it close to your chest, because there's somebody that's renting right now who could be living in a home of their own that maybe is only one share away to where you could help that person out. Look forward to talking to you guys soon. Look forward to seeing you next week. Have a great week.